I don't think that I have ever heard the moral corruption of our establishment ruling class explained any better than Tucker Carlson explained it on Joe Rogan's show. If you're anything like me, whenever you see any of these scandals that these people have, you always wonder, how in the hell do they survive this? How do they not just like shrivel up and just disappear, never to show their face again?
You look at the committee chairmen who allow this shit to happen year after year, they're all, and I don't know, people say, oh, they're compromised or being blackmailed or whatever. I don't have evidence of that, but I know them, and they all have things to hide. I know that for a fact. And so it's not a stretch of imagination to imagine that, some committee chairman who's allowing warrantless spying on Americans to continue, or whatever abuse they're allowing, knowing fully or hiding the truth about UAPs, ignoring the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023. Like, why are they doing that? It's not impossible to imagine that some guy with a drinking problem or a weird sex life, and that's very common up there, that's why they're doing it. Because they don't want to be exposed. I don't have evidence of that. I don't have proof of that.
Right.
But that's not a crazy thing to assume that could be happening.
Obviously, Tucker's pretty clear. He does not have any evidence of any of that. But he's right. It's definitely not difficult to imagine. The funny thing is, if you're a propagandized leftist, you see some of this today and you immediately say, that's a right-wing conspiracy. And then tomorrow you'll be in some internet echo chamber talking about how compromised by Vladimir Putin any and all Republicans are. But if you're a normal, well-adjusted, critically thinking person, you'll probably think that some sort of corruption on some level is almost the only way to explain the behaviors of some of these people. If not most of these people, if not basically all of these people. Just think about it, man. How many times have you watched presidents and powerful politicians not do the logical thing or even the easy thing? Just look at the border in the year 2024. What could possibly explain what we're doing down there, what we're allowing? It's not the mushy brain Democrat base with the, no man is illegal sign in their front yards. It's more than that. It's something else. You don't have to be some crazy conspiracy theorist to realize that there are massively powerful special interests that need cheap labor to stay powerful. And they're on both sides. There are without a doubt politicians and political groups that would benefit from a changing demographic. These are not crazy thoughts. This is just common sense. If those groups had some leverage, that could explain what's going on. I think even better than that, I think that's more likely than the fact that we're just led by stupid people, though for sure we are led by stupid people. There's no doubt about that. I just happen to think they're most likely compromised stupid people.
I said to somebody, a very powerful person the other day in a conversation in my kitchen, an elected official, holds a really senior position, a very famous person. I was going crazy. I was so mad about all this stuff and about the warrantless spying and about the funding for these insane wars. And I said to the guy who serves in one of the legislative bodies, I got so mad my dogs were afraid. They're like, well, why are you yelling? Because I don't yell at home. But I was like, all these people are controlled. They're all, got weird sex lives and all these things are hiding and they're being blackmailed by the intel agencies. And he said, and I'm quoting, I know. It was like, okay, so at this point we're just sort of admitting that's real? Like, why do we allow that to continue?
Because we don't actually have the power. We don't actually control anything, man. And the way we're going right now, we're just passengers. We are legit just passengers. And these people do not care what we think at all. And this is not a video about Trump, right? But why in the world do you think that the entirety of the machine hates Donald Trump? Do you think intel agencies and corporate media hacks and powerful elites from both sides, do you really believe that all these powerful swamp creatures have just aligned together for some common good? Come on. If you believe that, I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but I will say at best, you're incredibly naive. These are not people that do anything at all unless it benefits them. They are not charitable people. They are not the champions of what's good and what's right. If they were, you would know every name on Jeffrey Epstein's list. You know every single one of his clients.
Having people compromise thing, God, that's an old story.
It's the oldest story.
J. Edgar Hoover. It's all of them. It's Epstein's Island. It's everything.
But look, I don't have any. I'm telling you, what's the phrase the finance guys use? Open kimono. Like, I'm actually telling you all I know. I don't know anything else.
Right.
But I know that the publicly available facts tell a really clear story, which is the government is not acting on behalf of the population. And so it's inherently illegitimate because its only legitimacy derives from the citizenry. The only reason the government can do things that it does, kill people, collect money by force, all the powers that it has come from one place, and that's the consent of the governed. That's the only legitimacy they have.
And that's exactly right, man. As powerful as this government is, it all happens with the consent of the governed. You get what you vote for, and you will only have the government that you allow. And if you follow world politics at all, people worldwide are finally getting it, man. They're waking up, whether it's Argentina or Italy or Poland. People are waking up and they're actually making real demands of their governments. And it's working. It is working. These demands are working. And it can work here too, man. We just have to wake up, and we're working on it. But we really have to wake up.
If this is true, and if these people are compromised because they're secretly perverts and creeps,
They are, though.
and they're corrupt, and they steal money, or all these different things are evil things. Lying, controlling people, engaging in unnecessary wars that are going to cost thousands of lives for profit. All these things are evil things. So if evil is real, evil would want those kind of people to be in a position of power.
Yes. Evil is an independent force that exists outside of people, that acts upon people. I really believe that. I've experienced it. A lot. And it's obvious. And what vessel do they choose? The weak.
How true is that, man? If you've ever seen the quote by Jordan Peterson, it fits this completely perfectly, right? If you think that strong men are dangerous, just wait until you see what a weak man can do. That's perfect. I mean, we are led by weak men. There is no doubt about that. You know, there's really no debating that. The only thing I think that's still up for debate is what are we going to do about it? But that's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, guys, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.